Hello and welcome to the Senior Tuber Incentive. This is a place where mature creators come to learn how to start or grow their YouTube channel. So whether you're a professional or this is for personal reasons, this is a place where we'll learn all different aspects of becoming a YouTube creator. We mostly focus on optimizing your channel to monetize your channel and everything in between. I'm Fran Asaro, and I'm the founder of the Senior Tuber community. And today we have a great show. We have a speaker that's going to speak later on. Her name is Cathy, and she's going to talk about where she is in her YouTube creator journey. But before then, we're going to have our incentive corner, and then we're going to have our teach one, learn one moment. And that's what we're going to talk about now. If you're somebody who is considering having a YouTube channel, or that you think, oh my gosh, I'm getting older, I haven't even put my purpose out there, or haven't left a legacy, or I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of my life, or I need extra money, then this is something you probably want to listen to, because we want to help you. All of us who are here for similar reasons, but not all the same. Some of us have channels that are already working, but we want them to be better. And some of us just want to unleash something within us and start from scratch. Everybody's welcome. Men and women are welcome to the podcast and to the Senior Tuber Community Facebook page. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section or join our Senior Tuber community, which will keep the link in the description. All right. So what are some of the things that you go through when you're becoming a creator? As I just said, sometimes we just feel a little lost. We're lonely. We want to be a part of a community. We don't want to be creating from scratch by ourselves. And we look at some of the other YouTube creators out there who are teaching us, amazing people. I've followed many of them. I've even taken academies, but not all of us want to learn all of that. We just want to learn the basics. We just want to have a place to put our stuff, right? And so I sort of want to be the middle of the road for people who want to maybe move a little slower, have a little community, and definitely keep it light and fun. Those other places are wonderful. I'm even going to put a link down below of the academy that I took that helped me go from failing at YouTube for 10 years to actually bringing me to a place where I can monetize and I get to share it with you proudly and combine my love of YouTube and helping people grow. If you're in any of those places, then what I want you to consider, first of all, is this is about doing life and the YouTube channel age appropriately. Okay. This is not like working in your 20s and you don't have to do this rigid schedule. It could be relaxed and enjoyable and fun, and it just be at your pace. By the way, we're going to talk a little bit about pace, path, and rhythm, because that's a module I teach. And I also have a video on that. I think it's going to be over here. So if you want, watch it all later. But I am a firm believer that if we're going at our own pace and doing things our way, that we have more sustainability. We get more enjoyment from it. I am a real advocate for you to learn your pace, path, and rhythm. I gave you a little bit of a formula in that video. It's a short video, and see if there's something in there that can help you switch from being a little anxious about starting your channel to maybe feeling relaxed and doing it your way and still succeeding, right? One of the things we want to talk about is, who do you want to be known for, or what do you want to be known for when you have a channel? These are some of the preliminary questions you want to ask yourself. So for instance, I wanted people to know me as warm, a little quirky, imperfect. And sometimes I want to tweak who I am, like I want to get better, my hair look better or whatever. And, I want to be identifiable. I want to be approachable. I want people to feel like I'm real and I'm not that perfect person, but I'm somebody they can relate to. I also want to be fun and light, and I just want to love you. I want to hug on you. So if you know what you want to do and how you want to be with people, then think about that. Like, write it down. So who I want to be for people is the pro, or I want to be the information highway for somebody, or I want to be the entertainment for somebody. I want to bring people through things. Like, get that clear. Who do you want to be for your audience? This is, again, some of the foundational work before you have your channel, so that when you start branding yourself, people know if they belong there. You want them to know if they belong there. And we're going to be talking about optimization a lot. And that's one of the foundational pieces, as I said. And then how do you want to be perceived which is another thing, is do you want to be perceived as the professional or the contemporary? Or do you want to be perceived as somebody who's the learner with you? I kind of figure I want to be a contemporary. I know some things, years worth of experience that I want to share, but I'm definitely open to learning from other people. I'm a lifelong learner. So if you have something you want to share with me and it feels right, I'm open to hearing it. And another thing is, as I said, you want to work age appropriately, but you also want to work like you want to and not like you have to, even if you have to. Okay. So when, people don't need to know that you need to make money from YouTube. They could just think that you're having fun and being creative and that you're collecting money from it. They don't have to know that you need it to supplement your income. So those two things are really important. Work age appropriately and work like you want to and not like you have to. And again, remember the PPR, pace, path, and rhythm. And again, check out the video if you want to learn more about it. It's an interesting story that started out with my ex-husband, who gave me permission to talk about him in that video. And because he went at a different pace than I was going, I was always exhausted. And a light bulb hit me one day after we were divorced. And I realized that I had to find my own pace. And maybe you need to find your YouTube pace or just your life pace, whatever it is. Another thing I want to talk about, and I think I've already mentioned it before, you can't mention it too much, is you want to learn how to support other creators and how you want them to support you. Now, you can tell them that either in the description or in your video, and it would be a good idea if you practiced it with other creators. So if you have a creator out there that you really like, you go and watch them all the time, there's a way that they could benefit, not just by watching it. You can watch their video all the way through. They get credit for watch time hours when they're working towards becoming a YouTube partner. And you can also subscribe to their channel and hit the bell so you get notified. This is telling YouTube's algorithms that people are interested in what they have and what they're putting out, and it helps with how they get shown on YouTube. Another way you can support other creators is by liking their video, commenting on their video, sharing their video. So when you do those things, there is a way that they know that you're liking it. And don't do this if you don't really like it. But sometimes I watch videos and I really like them and I forget to like it. And now that I'm a creator who needs it, I'm very aware that, oh, did I like it? I don't like every single video, even on people that I know and love. It doesn't feel right. I don't want to give false information. But if you like the video or if you want to hear more from them, then practice these things. And then there's this other little feature called the thanks button. Some people have this feature already set up on their channel. And what happens is right under the video there, next to all the other options to share and to save, there's a button that says thanks. And there you can tip your favorite YouTube creator, which is a nice thing. A thank you would really mean a lot to some people. So remember all that, because how do you want to be treated? Start treating other people that way now and watch how it returns to you. Okay? All right. So what else is stopping you in your creating process? I'd like to hear what that is. Are you struggling with who you want to be and the image you want to have? Are you struggling or challenged by your niche? I'd like to know where you're at. I get a lot of people who are looking to optimize their existing channel and they have content on it up the gazoo, right? And they just aren't getting the response that they want. So that's where I have other products where I help people optimize their channel. And I go through their channel and comb through it personally. If that's you, contact me if you need me to help you. I do some private sessions and some private work and VIP days if you're looking for some help. But what is it? What is it that you need? And if you just need to ask questions, your questions will turn into next week's content for this podcast. And I'd really like that. Okay. So now we're going to go into the teach one, learn one corner. All right. That's where we're going to learn something specifically about being a YouTube creator. And one of those things is, first of all, I want to talk about optimization. Why that word? Why does Fran use that word so much? Because, I've been somebody who ignored that kind of thing. SEO, algorithms, just throw my stuff on my website, throw my stuff on my YouTube channel, and throw caution to the wind, right? And let the chips fall where they may. Well, once I took my courses, took my academy, and learned the difference between having something that you just throw stuff against the wall and when you have a deliberate channel, the difference was dramatic. I became a YouTube partner, and I can see the difference in how people are watching. Not everything is getting a lot of views, but some of my videos are getting a lot more views, and I get a lot more people who stay in touch with me because of them. Because the people who sign up for my channel, who subscribe to my channel, signed up because they like my content, and my content is consistent. Where I used to put things out one day about my coaching, one day about my Young Living oils that I'm a distributor for, one day just putting out meditation, or I did a product review, and I loved it. I was having a blast with it, right? And people liked it. But if they subscribed and then they showed up next week and there was a new video and it had nothing to do with those products or that service, they unsubscribed, or they just didn't stay on as a raving fan, and what you want is raving fans. You don't need 1 million raving fans. You need about 1,000 people who will love you and support you with whatever you do. And that's what I'm here to help you do. Okay. This is a place, the second largest search engine in the world, second only to Google. This is the place where your content lives forever. And I want to help you make that count. I have videos that I put on 5 or 6 years ago that are still making me money, that are still getting hundreds to thousands of views a month. And I think I could even do better, right? I'm just starting to be a better YouTuber myself. And optimization is when you take those few things and learn them, which I have to be honest with you, when you first learn them, it's a little overwhelming. But if you learn how to optimize your videos and your channel, it becomes like second nature to you. If you spend that extra few minutes, and I actually teach you how to automate a lot of it. When you spend that time to upload an optimized video, you can sit back and relax and know that you've done everything you could do with putting your material out for the world. Would you like to do that? It made a difference for me, and I'd love to help you too. Like I said, I have people who will say, oh my gosh, I can't think another thought. This is too much. And by the following week, when some of that stuff settled in, they'd say things like, oh, I noticed somebody else wasn't doing that. And I noticed somebody else who is doing that. And now I got it and I did it. And sometimes you do 1 or 2 things. You'll optimize a couple of things until you're ready to do them all. This is to plant the seed to become a YouTube creator who has an optimized channel and has optimized videos. You don't have to do them all today. Is that fair? Okay, so what I want to talk about optimizing today, because next week we're going to start on the real stuff, like all the best practices. But today we're going to talk about optimizing yourself before you even do the video, right? But next week, we're going to take at least one optimization tip a week to help you get your channel going. Okay. So let's talk about optimizing you before you're taking a video, right? You want to do your due diligence before you ever take the real video. And you'll want to do things like adjusting your clothes. Like, before I even got on here, my bra was hanging out and my shirt was crooked. And this is the best I could do with my hair today. It doesn't seem like a really good hair day, but you want to adjust your hair as well. Another thing you want to do is adjust your seating, okay? Are you sitting the way you want to sit for your entire video? I usually sit at the edge of my chair, so I feel like I'm sitting up straight. And you want to have yourself at least high enough that you don't look like, I have people who when I'm talking, to them. They're like down here, and they don't really hold their power when they talk down here. Some of them, I can't even get low enough. Their chins are missing from the recording, right? Sit up like you own this place, all right? Sit up like you know what you're doing and know what you're going to talk about, right? Then you want to do a test run. You want to do a sound check, a video check. If you ever go back and look at some of my old videos, you'll know I have to take my own advice, right? There's lighting that's off. There's a lot of things that are off. And even in today's video with the Senior Tuber Showcase, when I'm talking to Cathy, I didn't have any outside light the way I normally do, and I didn't realize how it looked after the fact. I didn't check my lighting. So that's a perfect example. When you're looking at it, you say, that doesn't look so good. Don't do it. Then you don't have to worry about it. Okay, so you check your sound, you check your lighting, you check to see if everything's in the right way. Is it backwards? See that Senior Tuber incentive on the TV? That is a reversed image. I had to put it in there reversed because if I played it the way I put it in there, it doesn't work. It's backwards. So check the way you want your things to show. Check everything you think everybody's going to look at. If you have dust bunnies, well, if I have dust bunnies, please let me know. Just like I said, you just check everything. And then you can go ahead and do a dry run. Take another minute to run a video and then look at it and see how it looks. Okay? Another thing I want to share with you today is let your audience know what they can expect from you. I'm guilty as charged. I haven't even told people how I'm going to drop my videos because I just do it spontaneously when I'm in the mood. I'm getting better at that. Like I decided that I want to do my podcast every Friday. What better looks like is I get it out over the weekend. I just don't always plan for all the things that are going to come up with editing and time. And, if I don't feel well when I decide I'm going to record it and then I don't have time. So let your audience know what they can expect from you and then work backwards and say, okay, I've promised a video out every 3 days, whatever it is. Try to accumulate a couple of weeks worth of videos so they're in a library. If you're ever away, if you don't feel like making videos that week, then just play one of those videos. Have some that are out there that are going to be in queue. You can actually upload them all and keep them on private and then just let them go public. I do that for clients. I upload their videos. I might put a week or two's worth for them and I date them. I put them on scheduled actually. And then they don't even have to do a thing. They just schedule it. Now you could do the same thing. You can schedule your videos and never have to worry about them going out. The idea is just to let your people know what they can expect from you. And if they can't expect anything from you, then just don't make promises you can't keep. Like the fact that I'm a little late on this podcast, okay? So let's just reiterate that we're going to start optimizing our channels, optimizing ourselves before we put anything out, and we're going to let people know what they can expect from us, okay? Okay, next I want to talk about some resources. A lot of people want to know what to use, what will help them, and I have like a boatload of sharing for you, and I can't put it all in one place because it would be overwhelming. But I do have a resource page coming up, and I'll let you know when I have it complete, and I'll drop the link in here. So look in the description to see if it's already been done by the time you see this video. What I want to say is that TubeBuddy is one of the first things I would like to suggest everybody get before anything else when they're starting their YouTube channel. It is like your best friend when it comes to having support. It helps you automate. It helps you check yourself. It's really, there's so many features. It helps you with thumbnail creating, chapter creating. It's got AI for title creation, and it helps you with tags. The most amazing thing, how to tag properly and rate your tags so that you're choosing the best tags for your videos. And it's really inexpensive. And it's even more inexpensive if you have under 1,000 subscribers. If you do, I have a link down below with a 50% off for anybody with under 1,000 subscribers. I've been using them for years and they are really great. They have great support system and just check them out, because I really think if you're going to watch us do some of the optimization from now on, that's one of the things you're going to see in any of my screenshots is TubeBuddy is there as a partner, and you'll see it that they're helping me automate my channel so that when it used to take me an hour to upload a video, now it might just take me minutes. And that's what I want for you, because some of us, we don't like the tech end. We don't want to edit, and we don't want to take the time. And TubeBuddy's not an editing program, and I do have some for you, but you just don't, you want to cut down some of that time consuming stuff so that you could just be creating. Not all of us have the extra funds to do what some creators do, and they hire out for editors and script writers and so many different things. One day you will. But in the meantime, this is a very inexpensive tool that I think would be a great start for you. So TubeBuddy is my first resource for you today. The next one is something you might not be thinking about because you haven't even started a channel yet. But keep this in mind for the future. When you start gathering an audience, there are not many ways for you to stay in touch with your people except if they show up on your YouTube channel, unless you have a customer relations management program. There are several out there, and I use Constant Contact because I feel like it's middle of the road. It's one that you can feel proud to use. It has a good reputation, and it's not too complicated if you don't have a complicated business yet. So if you're interested in capturing anybody who's interested in getting on your email list, or somebody you want to send a newsletter out once a month, or anytime you want to run a special, the way you would get in touch with them outside of YouTube is you would be able to contact them through your management system. There have been threats for other social media platforms that they were going to be closed down. And I watched creators who had millions of followers frantically search for ways to save all their people. This is their livelihood. And most of them went on different channels. They just said, meet me over here or meet me over there. The smart ones, they captured the people's email addresses. And this way, if ever things change and you're not on YouTube anymore, or you're not on another channel anymore, you can let them know through there where to follow you. It's very inexpensive, and it's there if you want it. I'm going to put the link in the description below if you're interested. Now, I am an affiliate to some of these things, so I want you to know that I am going to be having a whole conversation about affiliate marketing. Even for those of you who think you don't want affiliate marketing, you won't want to miss this, especially the people who think they don't want to be an affiliate marketer. You'll be amazed at some of the benefits and how some of the people that I get to communicate with wind up thinking, oh, I didn't think about that. And I want to get you there. So those are the two resources I'm going to share this week. And I'll probably share TubeBuddy every week because I want you to have that. That is a really great thing for a new creator to have. All right. Now we're going to talk about the momentum, to build momentum in your business by maybe doing some homework assignments before next week. I don't know if you want to call them assignments, but I'd like to see you possibly, if you don't already have a channel, to go ahead and start. Go to Google, open up a YouTube channel, and do whatever you're willing to do this week about it. You can put up your channel art, or if you just have a name and a channel and nothing else, then that's fine. Okay. You can at least follow along with us on some of the optimizations. If you already have a channel, then pick a video that you want to choose for our optimization. It may not all get complete next week, but you can use that same video each week to optimize it. All right. So either start your channel, pick a video that you can choose and we could work together during it, or choose somebody else's video and go on their channel. All right. Also, I would like to recommend that you start asking questions. You've got them. I know you do. I still have them. I can't help you if you don't ask. So either join our community, as I said, or go ahead and put your questions in the comments section and let's get them answered. Okay? And now we're going to have our Senior Tuber Showcase. This is a place where I am so happy to present mini interviews with people who are part of my Senior Tuber Creator Club. And what that means is they come to my Senior Tuber Lives. I know them, I know what they're going through, and I want to promote them, and so that they can be an inspiration for you. All right. It's sort of like a double win, right? I want to help them and I want to help you. And I'm going to be showcasing many different people who do many different things, right? You're not going to relate to all of them. Some of them are very professional and been in business for a long time, and they're going to have that conversation. Some of them are laid back. Some of them are energy workers. Some of them are very religious in one area, and some of them are spiritual in another. Some of them are succeeding, and some of them have yet to even start a channel. So listen for the people that you're interested in. Get what they have to offer. Cathy's one of those people that I just love. She has been coming to our Senior Tuber Live for almost a year now. She took a class that I taught about optimizing your channel. And she shows up every week, as I said, and she participates and she writes all her notes down and she applies what she's ready to apply. You know, I'll let her tell you, I don't want to give away her story, but the reason why she's here today and one of my actual first interviewees is because I want those of you who are challenged by what you are about to do, I want you to know that there are other people who are doing it, but they just don't give up. They continue to learn, and when they're ready, they'll do what they have to do. Some people, right out of the box, they are running and they're doing great, and some don't. And I want you to know it's okay. You can still belong to this community. We'll still love you and support you. And then one day when you're ready, we get to celebrate you. All right? So without further ado, I just want you to meet Cathy, and hopefully you'll love her as much as I do. And this segment for the Senior Tuber Showcase was pre-recorded and just added to this podcast. Okay? Have a great day. Check in for the next podcast and see some of the other videos I'm dropping. And here's Cathy. All right. Now we're at the Senior Tuber Showcase, where we have a mature creator who comes to not only inspire you, but we want to support them. So I want to invite you to meet Cathy Delwich, who is a friend of mine, but I have to tell you why she's here today. She inspires me every time we speak. She's a member of our Senior Tuber Creator Club, and she has an incredible story. And every time she tells me, I want to hear it again. So I always tell people, talk to Cathy, because she's just so interesting. And every time I meet her, she talks about something new. I learn something new about her. I thought, I can't be the only one who falls in love with her and finds her incredibly funny. So I figure I want somebody else to meet her and see if she helps inspire you the way she touches my heart and my life as well. So welcome, Cathy, and I am so happy you're here. Thank you so much.
Well, blessings, beloved. I'm happy to be here.
Yes. I don't really want to ask a lot of questions because I love you talking more than me, like I said. So I'm going to just ask a couple of prompting questions, and then I would love for you to move on. The couple of things. One is, I want people to know what your past is before they know where you are today. Would you like to tell them where you come from?
Sure, I'd be happy to. I'm going to go all the way back to the beginning because it's relevant to the whole story. Is that, I was born in a little small town just north of Dallas on the Texas-Oklahoma border. And, my family wasn't particularly religious, but they didn't have a problem with me going to church with the neighbors. So I grew up being exposed to all different types of religions. They were all Christian based, but there is a big difference between Baptist and Methodist and the Church of Christ. And I went to a Pentecostal church for a while, and that was my first exposure to speaking in tongues and people being really moved by the Spirit. And so I was fascinated by these different belief systems. And in my early 20s, I attended a Catholic church. And I just really loved the ritual and the pageantry within the Catholic Church. But, all of these different teachings came up short because they didn't speak to the divine feminine. And even at that early age, I was very much aware of spirit and my connection to source. So I've been on this spiritual path for a very, very long time. Now, I went to high school in Denison, Texas. I graduated at the top of my class. I got married. I had the white picket fence. And then life dropped a bucket of lemons in my lap. And I very quickly had to learn how to make lemonade. And my first batch was pretty bitter, but I kept trying, and I found over time that you could make a very sweet potion from the lemons. But what all that did was I moved to Dallas, Texas, and that was in the early 70s. And I went to work at Texas Instruments as an engineer. And being the only female engineer, I had many promotional opportunities, and I took advantage of all of those. And there were things that, I just took for granted, like that anybody could read a technical document and then tell you what it said. But then I found out, no, that was not the truth. And once I found out I could make big bucks doing it, I did, and I became a proposal development specialist. I was very involved in the defense industry, and I had power, I had money, I had prestige, but I didn't have me. So, it was when I was in Dallas that I was introduced to transcendental meditation, and I've been a lifelong meditator ever since. And the form of meditation that I do has changed over the years, but the 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 essence, that expanded awareness that occurs when you are in a state of meditation, is what it kept pulling me back, and it is a staple of my life. Now, in the late 70s, I moved to Colorado Springs and was working for Ford Aerospace and Communication Corporation, once again, a defense contractor. My entire career was spent in the military industrial complex. I'm very proud of our military and still am. But in Colorado Springs, the New Age movement had just really began to catch fire. And I just couldn't get enough of it. My days were spent in a male dominated masculine environment. And yeah, I adapted. I just became one of the guys. But in the evenings, I got to be me. I got to explore my femininity. I got to explore the divine feminine. I was exposed to Eastern thoughts and philosophies and consciousness and all of those juicy things that were forbidden in ancient knowledge. I got to hear all of those things and really integrate them into myself and my being. And I met a group of women, and I stepped onto the path of the goddess, and I walked the path of the goddess for almost 20 years. And there was a lot that I was able to learn about the sacred divine, the feminine, the masculine, our connection to earth, that we really are just one. We all are one. We come from the stars, the seeds. We're star seeds here incarnated on this earth. So as my professional career continued in the mid 80s, I moved to Dayton, Ohio at Wright Pat Air Force Base. And I truly believe everything is divinely ordered. So what was good for me was there's a little town outside of Dayton, Ohio called Yellow Springs. And it was a huge, it was where the hippies went. It's where the beatniks went. So there was lots of original thought. There was lots of creativity. There was a vibrancy that I'd never experienced before. And it was there that I was first introduced to Reiki. And I had my first attunements there. And so I just got to be with people, a lot of really like-minded people. And then, as fate would have it, in the early 90s, I moved back to Texas, and I was working with a company in Texas that Craycore Flight Systems, that was their name. And they actually were one of the first companies to develop drone aircrafts. And so, once again, as a proposal development specialist and as a marketing manager and things of that nature, I worked with them again within the defense industry. And, you know, life put another bucket of lemons in my lap. And it took a little bit longer to find the sweetness, but it was in Austin that I met a group, a support group, a meditation group, actually, a course in light. It was a light, using the light as a form of meditation, and it was very involved and complex, but it really helped me clear so many of the, those deep wounds that had been keeping me in separation. And so I continued to take Reiki classes. I immersed myself in the spiritual community that was available in Austin. I I continued to study on my own. I have lots of credentials now. I'm a certified Clear Your Beliefs coach. I'm also a certified mudra teacher. I'm chakra certified primordial sound meditation teacher. And I'm also a Holy Fire Karuna Reiki master teacher. So I have lots of tools in my box. And so I've spent a lifetime searching for who I am and what I believe. And just recently, a teacher mentor helped me reframe that question from, instead of constantly going, who am I? Who am I? Who am I? But rather just to acknowledge who I am. And wow, was that ever a revelation? Who I am. And to just step into that. I am a healer. I'm a gifted teacher. I have so much knowledge, and I've walked so many spiritual paths, and I mean, I am a student of consciousness. And what I do, and what I mean by that, is I study the world religions. I live them, I breathe them, I become part of them. I do the rituals, I do the practice, I surrender to whatever path I'm walking. And then when I step off the path, I'm able then to take all that knowledge and wisdom and see the commonality, to see the common thread. And so it heightens for me the knowledge, the understanding that we're all one. That's all there. There's nothing but the love, and that's what I want to be able to share, is this understanding that we're all one, that we came from the same source. We will go back to the same source. I happen to choose to believe that's consciousness. I don't believe anything exists outside of consciousness. So therefore, we all came from it, and that's where we go back to.
The fact that you had such contrast in your life, and then you decided that you wanted to come out into this world. There are a lot of people out there who either had a career, but they have a love that they didn't get to nurture. That's what really Senior Tuber is about, is like getting people to nurture the thing that they either love to do or have not gotten to nurture, right?
Uh-huh.
So I love that you're now coming out with that and owning it. And that's really special. A lot of people are going to need to hear that because they're stuck, and they think they're going to die with that gift inside of them, and they don't have to.
I think you were also interested in how I came to Senior Tuber, because I am a student of sound and vibration and sacred geometry. A friend of ours, a mutual friend, a friend and I, was teaching a class in divine manifestation, and what Deborah was teaching was, she was teaching the principles of sacred language and sacred sound and sacred geometry, is how it was expressed through the Arabic language. And because I had walked the Sufi path for a number of years, I was very interested in hearing her expression of this knowledge. And it was a very, not only was it an interesting class, it was a very powerful class. And I still, there's still takeaways. But the reason I'm telling you that is because Fran was in that class. And so that was the first time that I had met Fran. But she had offered I believe it was something called YouTube 101 class. And I thought, why not check it out? I'm not a very big fan of social media. And at the time, I only had my Facebook page, and I only had that because I needed it. In a lot of the classes I was taking, Facebook was the way that we connected. So I thought, well, let's just check this YouTube out. Well, this is the level of newbie that I was. I didn't even know it was called a channel. So that was like, oh, oh,
A lot
it's
of people
called a
need to hear
channel.
that. Okay. Some people need to hear that anyway.
I was like, okay, we have a channel here. And but as I took the class and I realized the very first real shock to my energy system was I have to make a video. I don't want to be seen. And so it's really hard to make a video if you don't want to be seen. Now, um, but I didn't let that stop me. Um, there, I know within the core of my being that the day will come when I will be able to make a video with ease. And I'm on this video now with Fran, and nothing has gobbled me up. I'm still sitting here, whatever it was that is causing such fear and anxiety. And as Fran said, I'm part of the senior tuber group that meets on Thursday. And I joke about it and say, well, I go for the fellowship and stay for the teaching. But to a large degree, that is what it is for me. It's an incredible group of women who have stories to tell. They're taking their talents and they're using them in a way. They're using YouTube to promote themselves, to get themselves out there, to be seen. Fran is providing the guidance and direction that we all need to make ourselves more visible, to improve our click-through rates, and probably using the wrong terminology, but nonetheless, it's very helpful to me. And I am making progress. It's little bitty tiny steps, but I'm learning and I'm absorbing. And I know that when the day comes that I'm supposed to make those videos, that I now know what to do and how to do it. And I also know that I have a tremendous resource available to help me along the rough spots. Um, I also just wanted to share a little bit about, the things that I have done. I got my URL, and Fran helped me with this as we went through a process of coming up with a name for the channel that was really a reflection of me. And so what I picked was healing with Ruha. And Ruha is a spiritual name that was given to me by the Sufi sheikh that I studied with for a number of years. And Ruha means the soul of God in Arabic. In Aramaic, which is the language of the Master Jesus, the language that he spoke, uh, Ruha means the breath. It is the breath that connects us back to source. And so that is what, since that is really what I want to express and convey, is that we're all just one breath. This is it, this moment, this time. We're one breath, all in unison. The earth breathes with us, the cosmos breathes with us. There's this in and out of the flow of the breath. So allowing myself to use that sacred name is another way of giving myself permission to be and to be seen and to be heard. So You know, I can't tell you that I'm incredibly close to making videos, but I'm much closer. Um, I'm still working with the understanding what is the obstacle, what is holding me back from being seen. And the good news is that um, there are, within the senior tuber group, there's those can hold my heart, that can provide that encouragement. I can see their result. I can see the benefit of what is being done, and so I just think it's a matter of time, and um, and it's all divinely ordered. So when it's time for me to make videos, I'll be making videos and, moving forward. But, the other things I got my channel name, I got my URL, I got my website, I've got my Facebook page. Now there's nothing there other than,
You
intention,
started the process. You set the foundation, right?
you know, there's a lot of desire.
You created a video.
And I did. I created a video that it's still hidden, but I created it. Oh,
But that's something. And I want to make sure that people understand that not only have you done all these things and you're not ready to move whatever's next yet, there are other people in our group that are like that too. You're not the only one. And some people are years ahead of us and some people are brand new. And we want to be able to help everybody. And that's why I wanted you here, because I wanted people just like you that are stuck to know that they would feel comfortable there. And then there's people who have a business who, and I'm really not trying to promote the group. If you want to come, you come, but I want everybody who has something inside them to know that wherever they're at, it's okay, because just keep nurturing that, just keep feeding it in whatever way or however you want to learn it. And that's where I want to acknowledge you, because it's hard to show up somewhere where it's called the senior tuber and you're not tubing yet, it's
yeah.
hard, but you show up, right? And you and a couple of other people, and that I acknowledge more than the people who show up that, no offense, but they're doing it, and
Mhm.
they might feel a little different. So yeah, congratulations on your video too. And when you're ready, you'll do it and you'll just keep learning. Is there something that you want to share to other people that might help them? Like this is the senior tuber. I was going to ask you this later, but since we're in this conversation, this is senior tuber incentive. And what I was hoping is that any of my guests that wanted to share some incentive to give the person who is stuck or in a challenging position, they may have a channel that they've had for years, or they may never have gotten a channel yet, something that you feel might give them incentive to take whatever the next step is. Is there anything you can contribute to that?
Yes. What I would like to offer is that, when I was growing up, 65 was considered really old. And my parents and aunts and uncles would sit around and talk about, oh yeah, Uncle Joe, he's in the twilight years. It's all downhill from here. The twilight removes the color from our sight, it's bad, man, twilight, at its end, the end is near. And that sat with me for a long time. And then I remembered twilight comes twice a day. Yes, twilight comes in the evening, but twilight also comes at dawn. And the twilight that comes at dawn is very special because we are able to step into the day bright, new, free. It's the dawn is full of potential and possibilities. And so I have come to a place of affirming and believing that, I am the twilight that comes at dawn. I do carry the knowledge of the sun and the wisdom of the moon. I walk the path alongside time and space where limitless possibilities exist. And I dance upon the dust motes as they shimmer in the moonlight. And so do you. And I want you to hear that. so do you. So come, let's walk and talk. Fran will illume our path with her light. She will share her knowledge, her wisdom, all things about YouTube that we would ever want to know, and so many other things. Now is the moment to step forward into the dawn of twilight. Twilight's gone. Let's all join hands. If it's YouTube that we choose to do or whatever, but come explore it. Find find a place for yourself. You have a legacy. We all do. It may be cat videos. I love cat videos. I watch them all the time. It could be me doing my healing work. It could be actually putting together people's legacies for them, but we all have something to share. And now's the time to do it. 65 is in my rearview mirror, 74 is right around the bend. And I want to be able to share. And so, with that in mind, I'm going to share a mudra with you. And what is a mudra? Mudra is just hand
Could I
yoga.
just stop you for just a second? Because there are a lot of people aren't going to see this. So if by chance you're listening to us and you want to see what the mudra is, just look for our YouTube link so you can go see what she's about to show us. Okay, thank
All
you. Sorry
right.
to interrupt you.
No, not a problem. So this particular mudra is for happiness. Now, happiness is a state of mind, and it comes from within, just like true beauty. Beauty is just its expression of our inner spiritual state. So if you choose to be consciously aware of happiness every day, and that's the mudra that I'm going to show you. And so what it is you're just going to take your little hands here and you're going to drop these two fingers down, and you're going to put these two together, and you're just going to bring your arms up. Your elbows are below your shoulders, but you're just going to hold this position. And then, we're not rabbit ears or victory. I'm not a crook. But, you're just going to hold this, and you're going to hold it from anywhere from if you hold it for a minute, you're going to go, man, that's a long time. But you really want to hold it like from anywhere from 3 to 11 minutes. And you're going to focus on your third eye, but you're just going to breathe you just want to relax into the breath. You want to relax into opening the heart. If you want to think a color, some people do colors. So, it's the color of green. But, this particular mudra with regular practice, and it's going to bring a serenity to your soul, and it's going to provide you with a happy, positive outlook. And so if you can be happy today and tomorrow and for the rest of your life, just think of the magic and the miracles that will occur. So thank you. Brightest of blessings, beloved. And so it is.
Thank you. That was really beautiful. So what I want to invite any listener who's interested in seeing or hearing more from Cathy and want to encourage her to have a YouTube channel, go ahead and put it in the comments. I'd love to let her know that she had an impact on the world in what way that she did. I think I'd like her to hear it if you have. If you're thinking it, then let her know it. And whatever happens, I love you either way. And thank you for that. So you made this video. I just want to ask, how did it feel after it's done? Are you feeling comfortable? For those of you who might want to be interviewed, right? I want you to know, maybe she felt comfortable. I don't know. What do you think?
It's I've never had a problem talking. I can talk about just about anything for as long as you want to listen.
Yeah.
It's just recording it that seems to be the issue. But as I said, I'm making this video. Nothing has swooped down and snatched me away. So I have faith that with time and just awareness and the willingness to be seen, the willingness to be.
Yeah. I have a client that I work with every week, and we started making videos just like this during our session together. And I would just say, go. And she and I came up with the term, well, she did, when I told her I wanted to work with people, sort of like hand holding to make videos. And she says, why don't you call it a kick in the shorts instead of a
Yeah.
kick in the pants? Because I want to help people to make shorts. And we could just sit here and her and I made 10 shorts in one of our sessions with plenty of time in between. So, that may be what just got you, when you see this and you maybe hear some of the results, the feedback that you get, this may have been like a starter for you too. And I hope it was, but I know whatever it is that you're doing, you're going to be touching people's lives for the rest of your life. And we're all lucky to have you. So thank you so much for being here. Is there anything else you need to say or share before we go?
I just thank you for this opportunity. I
Yes.
thank you for the fellowship and the teachings, and pretty remarkable. It's just, I'm constantly amazed to be at this age and realize how many people have so much to offer, and when given the opportunity to express it, they do, and what they share, it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
It is. And that's the thing, like what you shared tonight, that is not the theme of our channel. That is the theme of Cathy. And we have people who share everything from every religion, we have liberals, we have we have conservatives, we have everybody in the group, because we're a group of people who want to become creators, and we want to share from ourselves. So if you didn't see something from yourself by being connected to Cathy, but you loved her story, that's fine too. Somebody else will come on another time and talk about something you might be interested. So please stay and listen. And for those who are interested in what Cathy has to say, boy, I'm going to put whatever link you give me, what you're ready for me to share, I'm going to put that in a place where you can find it. And I hope you contact her. So thank you again. And thank you, everybody. And I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Just a blessing.
Bye-bye.